At some point in the last year or two, you've probably done the thing. You sat down on a Sunday night, opened your calendar, and you're building the perfect week. You're color coding the blocks, deep work in the mornings, admin batched in the afternoons, maybe even one of those apps that automatically shuffles everything around when something changes. And then Tuesday happens. And by Thursday, the beautiful calendar is basically fiction. You're back to reacting to whatever's loudest. And the one thing that actually mattered that week just got pushed to the next week again. So I want to make a claim right up front. And I know it might sting a little if you just bought a new planner. Your calendar is probably already the most optimized thing in your entire business or your life. And you're still behind, which means the calendar was never the problem. And in this video, I want to show you what I plan around instead, because once I stopped trying to optimize my hours and started planning around something else entirely, the important work in my business finally started getting done. Here's what I think is actually going on here: time blocking. And I'm a big fan of it. But most of the productivity advice floating around out there is built on this quiet assumption that every hour in your week is the same. That an hour is just an hour, and that the you who sits down at 8 on a Tuesday morning is the same person as the you who sits down at 3 on a Thursday afternoon. And whatever work you drop into either slot is going to come out at the same quality. But it's not true. And you already know that isn't true because you've lived the proof and you've sat down inside a perfectly scheduled block. Door closed, coffee made, calendar says, write proposal. And you just stared at the screen. The time was there, but you were not. Because when you plan your week with hours as the unit, the expensive work in your business, the pricing decision you've been avoiding, the proposal that needs to be really good, the thing you keep calling strategy in your head, it keeps sliding into whatever hours happen to be left over. And the leftover hours are almost always your worst ones. So the busy work thrives because busy work can survive a bad hour just fine. And the work that actually grows the business continues to starve. Not because you're lazy and not because you need a better calendar system, but because you've been scheduling your most expensive work like it costs the same as answering an email. And it doesn't. So here's the shift. And honestly, this is the whole video. You don't run on time. You run on capacity. And the way I think about capacity is it's made up of two things: energy and decisions. Energy is the more obvious one, right? Like your brain has windows where hard thinking is cheap, where ideas kind of connect on their own, and windows where the same thinking is incredibly expensive. For most people, there are two, maybe three of those high capacity windows in a day. They're not evenly spread out, and no calendar app on earth can move them for you or figure them out for you. Decisions, though, are the sneakier one. Every choice you make across a day, how to word that email, whether to take that client, what to charge, what to delegate, even what to eat for lunch, all of it is drawing from the same account. And that account doesn't refill just because the clock rolls over to a new hour or a new day. So you can hit 4 in the afternoon with plenty of time left on the calendar and absolutely nothing left to decide with, which is why the proposal you save for 4 o'clock somehow turns into you reorganizing a folder for 45 minutes. So capacity-based planning at its core just means you stop asking, where are the open hours in my week? And you start asking, where is my best thinking and what actually deserves it? So let me make this really practical because I promise practicality in all of these videos. There are 4 steps. And the first one starts tomorrow morning for you. Step 1 is find your window for 1 week. Don't change anything about how you work. Just watch yourself 3 times a day, morning, midday, and late afternoon. Write down 2 or 3 words about how your head feels, whether it feels sharp, foggy, or just done, right? That's the whole exercise. And by Friday, I promise you a pattern is going to be staring back at you. Most people find 2, maybe 3 genuinely high capacity windows in a day, which adds up to something like 10 or 12 real hours a week. And I know that feels really small. It is small, but that's kind of the point. That's the actual budget your best work has been competing for this whole time without you knowing it. And it's why you're constantly overwhelmed. Now, step two, sort your work into two piles. I just call them heavy and light. Heavy is anything where the quality of the outcome depends on your judgment. It's pricing, proposals, writing, the big decisions, the hard conversations. Light is everything where the quality mostly doesn't change based on the state you're in. It's invoices, scheduling, your inbox to some degree, the little errands of running a business, right? And be honest with the sorting because we love to promote light work into heavy work so we can feel more productive. We do this all the time. We make things feel something different than what they actually are just to feel more productive and like we're moving the needle forward when we're not. Step three is place the heavy work into your high capacity windows first before anything else touches the calendar. And then protect those windows the way you'd protect a client meeting because that's basically what they are. They're meetings with the version of you that actually is good at this. So hold strong and do that. Step four, one heavy thing per window, just one. This is the rule people break immediately because the windows feel so good that you want to stack three big things into it, but don't. Light work stacks fine. Heavy work doesn't because every heavy task carries its own pile of decisions and then tasks that branch off of it all the time. And the second one always ends up paying the bill for the first because every heavy task carries its own pile of decisions and you end up with all these branches of tasks and thoughts. And ultimately, you end up down a rabbit hole that you were never planning on anyway. So keep it one per slot. And I'll just be honest about what this looked like on my end because I resisted this for a long time. I was the guy with the gorgeous calendar. I was doing the bullet journaling and I was ending week after week with the most important things untouched, feeling like I had worked so much and somehow moved nothing forward. When I finally started planning around my windows, though, by learning my windows and tracking how I feel throughout the day, throughout a week, and for me, it's genuinely just the first 3 hours of the morning. That's most of my real capacity right there, which is crazy. But I have to get up extremely early and optimize that time. The strange part wasn't that I got more done or that I get more done. The strange part was that the heavy work started taking less time. The proposal that used to take 3 foggy afternoons takes 1 sharp morning now. Same task, but it's a different me that's showing up to do it. So here's your homework this week. Run the energy audit. 3 check-ins a day, 2 or 3 words each. That's all it is. This weekend, sort everything on your plate into heavy and light. And then next week, plan exactly 1 week this new way. Heavy work into your windows first, 1 per window. Light work everywhere else. That's the whole system. By this time next week, you're going to know specifically which 10 hours your business actually runs on. And once you know that, you stop feeling guilty about the other 30 because they were never supposed to carry that weight in the first place. I think we keep optimizing our calendars because it feels like control. And I get it. I do this every week. I'm preaching to myself here. I get it. It's so satisfying to look at a clean, color-coded week and one that feels good. But a calendar full of perfect blocks is really just a guess about a person who doesn't exist because you don't know how you're going to feel in each moment. So this imaginary version of you who's equally brilliant at every hour of the day is just that, imaginary. So plan for the real week ahead instead. Give your best windows to your most expensive work and let the rest of the week be ordinary. And as always, enjoy the journey, my friend.